Hi, traders, and welcome to the weekly commodity report. I'm your host, Paul. For anyone new to the channel, I use something called wave analysis to look at the charts to determine what the next wave could be. As usual, we'll look at the following commodities: natural gas, oil, copper, gold, silver, and uranium. So let's start. All right, we're going to start with natural gas. This is the spot market daily chart of natural gas. And I'm going to start with the daily because this wave now is getting very impulsive. And I'm really starting to wonder if I've got this count wrong. So on this chart, if we zoom back out into the beginning when we made that high, August of 22, I've always had this labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if that's 1, and then that was 2, and then it came down for 3, 4, and now we need a 5-wave move, and so far we only have 3. So I've always been saying that they're making 4 and then we're coming down for 5. But given how strong this is, and on the daily chart, you don't really have. I guess you'd kind of have divergence from 2 and 4, but when we drill in, I'll show you. It's just getting very impulsive all of a sudden. So I'm wondering if I have this part labeled wrong. Now I looked at it again even today, and I still see 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't get 3 waves, because if it's 3 waves, then that changes everything. Because if this is like 1, 2, 3, and that's still 1, then you obviously have a 3-wave move here for 2. And if this was 1, 2, 3 for 3, and an ABC here for 4, then you would have your 1, 2, 3 for 5 waves. But that first wave still, it looks very impulsive. It doesn't look like a 3-wave move. And I counted again. I can't get 3 waves. So, but given the strength of this wave, I'm really starting to doubt this now. So, but anyway, so when we drill in, right here is where you can see where it gets really impulsive. On the futures chart, when we look, I can still kind of make a diagonal out of it, but it's getting ugly. And this wave would have to really be ending right about where it is now, maybe a little bit more up. Because as I said, if that's the A and this is the B, and then they're making a big C wave, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and now they're extending, extending the 5th wave of that 5th wave. The problem is this wave right here. It just looks like it's 1, 2. Now this could be 3, 4, 5. So that's the A, and then they made this running flat B. So that could be 3, and then they just made a really quick shallow 4, and now they're finishing 5, which would be of the 5 of the 5th wave. But on this chart, it looks like they actually have to break the high one more time, just a little bit. So not until they break 2, 3, 4 on this chart can we really say that this 5th wave is in. That's a pretty big drop, so that's going to take a while. So, but either way, even if the low is in, I think this first part, well, we're going to have to wait and see. Because if they come up here maybe one more time, and then they just give a little shallow correction, and then they go back up, I think that's the impulse then. And this isn't a 4 then. So yeah, this is a pretty critical area for natural gas to see I think this fifth wave is ending, and then it's going to be a matter of what type of correction or what kind of drop happens. Is it just a correction or a big sudden drop? See now, like on this chart, this is the futures chart. This one I can draw like it's got a nice diagonal shape, and this again, there was like a little impulse here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave of the fifth wave, and then they made the expanding flat. And then when we drill in, I do see 5 waves. So after that expanding flat, so that was A, this expanding flat was the B correction. Now we need 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They just barely broke it though. It's kind of surprising that they didn't shoot it up a little bit more to take some stop losses out. So there are 5 waves. So that could be a 1, 2, 3. Now this fifth wave, they could just, that could be like the A, and now they're going to give like a B wave, and then still one more up for the C, and then that 5 would just slide over. So not until they take out, well, technically not until they take out 2, 2, 1, 4. Can we say that the fifth wave is complete? So that's a long way away for that kind of a drop to happen. So yeah, there's still the potential that they go back up one more time. If that's the A wave, I would expect that the B wave would probably actually come down a little bit more and then go back up. But yeah, they could still take it up one more time to complete this fifth wave. And then just like on the cash market. Now on this one, it does, like I said last week, I was looking for 5 ways to make the C wave for this. Well, I thought it might be a running flat, but it would be an expanding flat. So if this is the 4th wave, that was A, and then you had this ABC, that's B, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's your ABC. And that would be 4 if they're going to come back down for the 5th wave. So, but just like on the cash market, I said, like if this, wherever they are, if they just give some type of correction and then go back up, then that's not an expanding flat. And then I think that the low on this chart anyway, this 1.9 is going to be the low for good, and the next bull market has started. So yeah, natural gas, this next movement down will be critical to tell us exactly what the heck is going on. So yeah, I think there's limited upside for natural gas because this 5 waves should be ending if it hasn't already. Maybe just one more little push up, but then there should at least be a correction or coming down for the 5th wave. So yeah, interesting spot for natural gas. Should yeah, it'll be interesting the next couple weeks to see what happens. All right, oil. Okay, so last week I said that oil was looking really good, gave us this ABC right into this nice green zone, good support there. And then they gave a 5-wave move, and so things were looking good, and all they did is just give a little shallow correction and then one more up, and then they came back down. So to me, this looks very much like this 3-wave move. That's W, this 3-wave move is X, and then they made this 1, 2, 3-wave move for Y. So anytime you have WXY, you can always get an X and then followed by a Z. So they could still come back down into this zone one more time. But either way, I'm only looking for the buy setups in oil. You do have, a WXY. And so that could be at 76, could be the low, and now they take off. Or they'll have one more trip down into this underneath 76 one more time. But either way, I'd only be looking to buy oil because I don't see this being like the start of a leading diagonal. Like this ABC is one, and then that was two, and because that three that's just way too short for a third wave. And actually, this ABC was too short of a correction. If it was going to be a two wave, it should have been up in the 81, 82 range, but it didn't get that high. So, once they break 79.93, that for sure eliminates a diagonal, but that is not, I don't see that turning into a diagonal because that fifth wave would have to be even shorter than the third wave. So I don't see that happening. So I only see this as being corrective, and thus I'm only looking for buy setups in oil. All right, let's move on to the metals. Start with copper. So copper has totally exploded, and let's go to a daily. They have finally taken out the March 22 high. So copper is on fire. Now they did, after breaking that, go down to a 4 hour, you could see that they did have a pretty strong sell-off. So it looks to me, go back to a daily, that this wave, now this to me looks like they're making a diagonal here. Oops, let me get the arrow. Because we got like a 1, 2, and a 3. And then here's a nice ABC. So I think that was 1. This was 2. And then you had this 1, 2. And then I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 waves. So it looks like 1, 2, 3. And now should be getting a 4. Which, when we look at the 4 hour, it definitely looks like they've already started. So like, 1, 2, maybe 3, and then they'll go up, and then one more down. Give you a decent sized correction for 4, but I only see more up for copper, because this should only be 3. It's going to correct down for 4, but go back up for 5. So, if you're not in, I think copper looks great, but I think you'll probably be able to get it a little bit lower than, that's just too quick of a correction. So I think this will just be kind of chopping around here for a little bit. But if you can get it, in the 4-6 range, or even lower, would be better. But 4-6 or so is when I would really start looking, and then play for that fifth wave up. So yeah, copper looks really good. If you're in, just sit back and let it do its thing. If you're not in, just wait for a little bit more of a correction. Got really overbought, obviously. So needs a little cooling period, but yeah, I'm only looking to buy copper. Gold. All right, I have to drill in on this one, go down to a 1 hour. So on this level, I only see 3 waves. So I think we had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then they're making a diagonal. 1, 2, 3. I've had the 4, and now when I drill in, so now we're going up for the 5th wave. So they'll take out 24.31. And when we look, I've got this as like a leading diagonal because it's 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they might go and break that 23.90 again. It does look like you got like 1, 2, and a 3. Now this could turn into like a 3, 4. This is a 5. That's just the A part. And then it'll correct and then go back up some more. So this 5th wave might not be totally done, but I think I'd wait if you're not in gold and just let this 5th wave, let this 5 waves complete, you know, even if they go up into the 2400s, you know, there should be a decent sized correction, and you should be able to get it lower than where it is right now. So either the 5 is in, or they're going to push up a little bit more, but then there's going to be a correction coming because I see 5 waves. So this 5th wave should be ending. So yeah, let a correction happen, and then I'd be buying gold, and then you're taking it at least to 2431, but yeah, it could go substantially higher than that for that fifth wave up. So yeah, the gold looks really good, and silver looks really good too. Now, and the same thing on silver. You know, I got this as a leading diagonal: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they gave this just a very shallow correction. So 1, 2, and it's already hit its first target. Now that it can go higher, but I'd be a little cautious buying up here. You know, it's getting a little bit overbought. So this could be 1, 2, 3. So I would think then that's just the A wave of this 5th wave, and then they'll give like a 3 wave correction, and then still one more up. So they'll take out 30. So just like gold is going to break its high, silver will break its high. I just, you know, if you're not in, I you know, even though I think it's going to go and break that high, like there's really no reason to be buying up here. You had to be buying down here, or just there's going to be a correction coming, and then that needs to be bought, because this isn't complete yet, because we haven't well, they did actually break the 3 high. Yeah, I don't think that's it. I mean, the target for this 5th wave is up here at 30.43. So, yeah, silver looks good. I'd be very cautious. I'd wait for the, I think that's the A wave. I'd wait for this B wave to happen, and then any decent sized pullback, yeah, definitely buy that to go and break the high. And uranium. All right, so uranium just going slow. Didn't make that target for the 3rd wave. So that, unless this, because this definitely looks like 1, and then this 3 wave, that's 2. 1, 2. I mean, I guess that could be 3. They just missed their target. Or maybe that's just the A wave of the 3rd wave, and now this is going to be the B wave, and then they'll go one more up. But it really should be going up right now if it's going to go up for the 3rd wave. And it looks actually like they should actually be going down, if anything, because this was very impulsive. And that looks like a nice little 3-wave move up. Then you got 3 waves down, and then you got 3 waves up. So it almost looks like they're making a diagonal. Here's like 1, 2, and they come down for a 3, 4, and a 5, and that'd be your A, B, C. So yeah, if you're not in uranium, yeah, I don't know. Wouldn't be buying here, even though I think it's got more up. Just don't like that 3rd wave didn't reach its target. And because it looks like it's got another drop, I'm not loving this. Let's look at the, yeah, even like the 3rd wave shouldn't have any divergence, and it has divergence. I'm just wondering if this is just a really big correction, you know, like 1, 2, 3. That's like the A wave, and then this is like a WXY almost, and then this is going to come all the way down, because I don't like how this is going up. Now it doesn't matter. I mean, there's divergence, but it can still go up. It's just not in love when that happens. Usually a third wave, you're not going to see divergence between the first and third waves like you do here. So that's why like buying here, I wouldn't recommend it. I think you got to wait and see what happens here, because this has the potential to still come all the way down then, and then this is just going to be a bigger correction before they do go resume back up. So yeah, if you're in, then I just sit back and wait, because this is definitely looking very corrective, even if they come back all the way down. But to buy here, that would just be no fun. If you buy here playing for more up, into the 33 range, instead you're finding yourself down in the 20s. So yeah, uranium's a tricky spot. I'm not loving this pattern here. It really should have gone up and broken that high already for a third wave. But it could, I mean, it could be just a contracting diagonal, which tells me then this is ending. If that's 1 and that's 2 and that's 3, and somehow I don't think that's 4. But if it is somehow 4, then I think this is just going to be like a 1, 2, and they'll just break the high, and then that'll be it. That'll be your 5 waves. So yeah, I wouldn't be buying here. You're not playing for a whole lot, because it's ending if it is, because there are 3 waves already. So yeah, if there's a bigger drop, then I'd be more interested in the buy. So yeah, I think you already got to be in the buy, and then you just sit back and wait and let this play out. But if you're wanting to get in, I think you got to wait for it to drop to give you a better risk to reward. All right, that's it for the commodities. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your likes and support. I'll see you in the next video.